June 27th, 2025. Think about that date. Does it feel like just another day ticking by on your calendar? Let me tell you, it's not. This date isn't some random point in time. It's an appointment your destiny set long before you ever walked this earth. You haven't arrived at this understanding by mere chance. No, you were specifically chosen with divine intention for this very era. That word chosen, I know it can feel like a heavy weight. Perhaps right now you're thinking, me, ready for what? Maybe the echoes of your past are whispering insidious lies, trying to define who you are. But I need you to hear this with absolute clarity. You weren't picked because you're flawless. You were picked because you harbor something essential, something the world is starving for. All this while, life has been subtly, sometimes sharply molding you. That period of feeling cut off, isolated, that wasn't a penalty. It was a period of intense preparation. While others were basking in the spotlight, you were being meticulously sculpted in the quiet. While others seemed to race ahead, you were guided to pause. That hold up, that perceived delay, it was divinely orchestrated, because what's growing inside you, that unique gift, it demands profound depth. It demands unshakable strength. It demands that silence that precedes a truly powerful sound. And believe me, that silence is now drawing to a close. There's an undeniable power in perfect timing. You might have felt ignored, passed over. But rest assured, heaven hasn't missed a single step of your journey. Everything that was kept under wraps is on the verge of being brought into the light. Every question that has weighed on your heart is about to find its answer, making perfect sense. This is the very reason you couldn't bring yourself to give up, even when every fiber of your being screamed for it. This is why your spirit fiercely refused to be extinguished when life felt like it was trying to bury you. You were never intended to shatter, you were destined to ascend. And here you are, not as a casualty of what's been, but as a clear vessel brimming with purpose. This is the precise moment your soul has been anticipating. The world needs your willing eyes now more than ever. So stand up tall, not with a shred of arrogance, but with a deep, divine confidence. You were chosen, you were sent. And now, unequivocally, it is time. Take a brief look back, not to get stuck there, but to truly acknowledge what you've navigated. The tempests, the seasons of profound silence, the betrayals that came with no closure. Those nights you cried out into the void and felt only emptiness in return. Those weren't just painful interludes, they were potent lessons cleverly disguised. They were your groundwork. You were being refined, polished like a diamond, not cast aside. And though it might have felt like your entire world was disintegrating, what was truly happening was a necessary breaking open, a clearing of space so that something far greater could surge forth from within you. It's so easy to buy into the lie that suffering is a sign you're cursed or forgotten. But in reality, those shadowed seasons were sacred spaces. They were meticulously building your character, stretching your endurance, and incinerating everything superficial that couldn't accompany you to your next stage of growth. There's a profound reason why you didn't receive what you desired exactly when you desired it. You weren't being denied. You were undergoing crucial development. You had to let go of certain people to discover your true alignment. You had to experience walking alone so you could clearly hear the guiding voice of God, free from worldly interference. You had to confront resistance head on so your faith could expand beyond the shallow waters. And now, you stand stronger, wiser, perhaps quieter, but infinitely more certain. You now carry a depth within you that cannot be cultivated in comfort. It had to be forged in the crucible of adversity. All this time, you weren't being punished. You were being prepared for a responsibility that only a select few are called to bear. Don't waste a moment resenting the process. It was your essential training ground. And now that this preparation phase is complete, you can stride forward with unwavering clarity. Knowing this truth, the very pain that once threatened to break you has now become the unshakable foundation upon which your purpose will be built. There inevitably comes a point when what has been concealed must be brought to light. Not just for the world to see, but for you to fully recognize within yourself. You've carried heavy questions in your heart for so long. Why was I set apart? Why have I always felt so different? Why did certain doors slam shut for me when they seemed to swing wide open for everyone else? Now, the answers are beginning to bubble to the surface. Because when the appointed time arrives, the truth can no longer remain suppressed. The mist starts to dissipate, and you begin to see with sharp clarity what your spirit has inherently always known. You were never, ever meant to just blend into the background. You were marked, specifically called, and intentionally set aside for a mission that transcends the superficialities of this world. That's precisely why the conventional paths never quite worked for you. That's why you couldn't compel yourself to just follow the crowd. Your soul resonated with a truth that starkly contrasted with the deceptions of the prevailing system. And for such a long time, you might have questioned your own value, completely unaware that the very things that made you feel out of place were, in fact, undeniable indicators of your unique mission. But now the veil is being decisively torn. The illusions are shattering. The undeniable truth about who you truly are and what you have been divinely sent here to accomplish is surging to the forefront. The world attempted to convince you that you were either too much or not enough. But now the revelation dawns: you are precisely, perfectly who you were created to be. And those very aspects of yourself that were once misunderstood are the exact qualities that will now lead others toward their own awakening. This is the hour of your unveiling, of confidently stepping into your authentic identity. What was once hidden is now being declared openly. So open your eyes wide, steady your heart, and place your trust in what is being shown to you. Because once the truth has been fully revealed, you can never return to a state of spiritual slumber. There is a distinct moment in every significant journey when heaven declares, no, it's not necessarily when you feel most prepared. It's not when everything on the surface looks picture perfect. It is when your spirit has endured, matured, and aligned itself perfectly with the gravity of your assignment. That moment is here. Your spiritual promotion has been officially authorized, not by human institutions, not by titles or public applause, but by the unseen realm that has been silently observing your faithfulness. You didn't chase after external validation, you chose internal obedience. You didn't opt for shortcuts, you steadfastly remained on the narrow, more challenging path. And though it came at a cost, though it might have appeared as if you were being left behind, the reality is that you were being elevated in ways unseen by the physical eye. And now, that season of hidden growth is complete. The shift has already occurred in the spiritual realm, and soon it will manifest tangibly in your everyday life. The authority you now carry, the profound peace you walk in, the clarity with which you speak, it will no longer be overlooked or ignored. This isn't about ego or jockeying for position. It's about responsible stewardship. With this promotion comes greater responsibility, yes, but also a far greater capacity for impact and an encompassing divine protection. You are no longer operating from a place of mere survival. You are now moving in accordance with a divine strategy. The right people, the necessary resources, the inexplicably open doors, they are not coincidences. They are divinely orchestrated assignments falling into perfect alignment. You've transitioned from waiting to actively walking, from merely hoping to deeply knowing. You no longer need to justify or explain yourself. The results, the fruit of your obedience will speak volumes. The light you carry will expose what is genuine and true. Walk forward not as someone still hoping to be chosen, but as someone already commissioned by a power far greater than yourself. Because once heaven authorizes your next level, no force on earth can obstruct it. Now that the call has been made unmistakably clear and the promotion has been granted, there is absolutely no space left for hesitation. You must step into complete unreserved obedience, not partial, not conditional, but total. This is not the time to second guess yourself or to wait for yet another sign of confirmation. You've already heard the call. You've already seen the indicators. You've already felt that undeniable stirring deep within your spirit. Obedience is no longer an optional extra, it is utterly essential. And please understand this, obedience isn't merely about outward action, it's profoundly about inner alignment. It's choosing to move forward even when it feels intensely uncomfortable. It's speaking your truth even when your voice trembles. It's trusting the process even when the final outcome isn't yet visible. It's waking up each and every day with a quiet, unshakable resolve that you will walk the path designated for you, even if no one applauds, even if no one understands. Because you are not following the whims of the crowd, you are following a higher, divine instruction. You simply cannot carry the immense weight of this calling while still dragging the heavy baggage of past delays and indecision. The season of almost there is definitively over. The version of you that was still grappling with whether they were ready must now recede. God isn't searching for your perfection, He is seeking your complete surrender. Full obedience means you trust each step even when the entire staircase hasn't been illuminated. It means consistently doing what is right even when it's far from popular. It means willingly sacrificing temporary comfort in exchange for lasting purpose. And yes, make no mistake, obedience will cost you something. It may cost you certain friendships, old habits, outdated identities, and the comfortable illusion of being in control. But what you gain in return is immeasurable divine clarity, a peace that truly surpasses all understanding, and a life imbued with a profound meaning that can neither be bought nor faked. You were not created to play it safe. You were chosen to carry brilliant light into pervasive darkness, and light, by its very nature, doesn't ask for permission to shine. So, this is the pivotal moment. Stop delaying, stop shrinking, stop negotiating with your destiny. You've heard enough, you've waited long enough. Now, it is unequivocally time to move. What is unfolding right now isn't merely personal, it's a global phenomenon. You can sense it, can't you? Something is fundamentally shifting in the atmosphere. Old, outdated systems are visibly crumbling. Deep-seated illusions are being relentlessly exposed. People everywhere awakening, beginning to question what they once blindly accepted, reaching out for something deeper, something more real and authentic. This is far more than just a passing season, it's a widespread spiritual awakening. And you are not just watching this unfold from the sidelines, you are an integral part of it. You are a crucial piece in this divine unfolding movement. You didn't come into this world at random, you were specifically sent here, at this exact juncture in history, for a purpose that is vastly larger than yourself. You've been awakened not just to escape the darkness, but to courageously confront it with truth, with love, and with divinely given authority. The journey you've painstakingly walked, the pain you've resiliently survived, the wisdom you've painstakingly gained, it wasn't just for your own healing and growth. It was to meticulously equip you to help uplift others. Your very life is a blueprint, a guiding light, a clear signal to those still ensnared in confusion. And you are most certainly not alone. All across the globe, others just like you are rising. The quiet ones, the misunderstood ones, the hidden ones. People who have been profoundly refined in the crucible of silence and are now stepping out with newfound clarity and an unquenchable fire in their souls. This is the rise of the called, the chosen, the awakened. It's no longer about titles or platforms or public recognition. It's about genuine impact. It's about unwavering obedience. It's about deeply knowing who you are and why you were sent. This is a divinely coordinated effort. You have been perfectly aligned with heaven's timing. When you speak, your words will carry undeniable weight. When you move, you will shift atmospheres. When you walk steadfastly in your truth, others will find the courage to rise alongside you. That's how true awakening spreads, not through force or manipulation, but through authentic alignment. So, do not underestimate your presence. Do not downplay your voice. You are not insignificant. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are precisely on time, and your eyes right now in this moment may very well be the spark that ignites freedom for generations to come.